The thoughts, views, and comments expressed by the hosts, guests, and callers on Beyond the Headlines are not necessarily those of management, ownership, or production unit of the Verizon Media Group. Beyond the Headlines is a production of ILTV Studios and cannot be reproduced or represented in part or entirety without express written permission of the Verizon Media Group. Beyond the Headlines is the intellectual property of the Verizon Media Group. Copyright 2021.
Coming up tonight, a high school graduation ceremony interrupted today as two women fought outside the hall where the ceremony was being held, turning the event into something akin to the WWF. Tonight, the women are in custody. Also tonight, whose political resume looks better? Prime Minister Davis's or Michael Pintard's? The two men went at it in Parliament today. So how do they measure up? What are your thoughts? Later tonight, looking to travel this summer? I mean, like really travel, not just to what is it? What did the lady say? Florida or something? But, whatever. Well, you're in luck. Get this. Scotia Bank is here to talk about the Tickets to Tokyo campaign. We have that for you coming up. This is Beyond the Headlines. Good evening. I'm Shanique Miller. It's great to have you along this evening. Well, what was meant to be a joyful celebration turned into an all-out brawl this afternoon after a graduation ceremony on Gladstone Road became symbolic of a scene in a Wild Wild West movie. Here's what happened. Shortly after midday, a heated argument between two women at the graduation escalated, landing both of them behind bars. You can't make this up even if you tried. The fight happened, which involved several skirmishes, as you can see by the video. All of this in front of other families in attendance, including the graduating students. Now, police officers already stationed at the event for crowd control stepped in to break up the fight and took both women into custody. The women, ages 36 and 31, were arrested on the scene. Tonight, police continue their investigation into the incident. Well, we're going to talk about that. Look at the video, y'all. Look at the video. I mean, there were several fights all over. Children in uniform, graduation caps, and gowns. Just look. I mean, I'm just wondering if this is Animal Farm or something. Again, reportedly, this started because of an argument involving two women. I think that's one on the ground there. That turned physical. And then all of a sudden, these other little skirmishes broke out all around them. Just several, believe me, if you see the videos, you really will think that I don't understand, something in the water. Well, we're going to get into this discussion this evening, get behind what's going on, because that is not an attractive sight to see. Joining me this evening is Carlos Reed. Carlos Reed is the crime consultant in the Ministry of National Security. He also has a record of working with a number of troubled youth and trying to prevent and address issues just like the one you saw. Carlos, good evening to you. Welcome to Beyond the Headlines. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
It's really awesome having you. Let's just jump right in. At a time when crime is at a worrisome level and there's growing effort to play and get students on the right track and follow the right influences, adults setting this kind of example, behaving badly in public, paints a telling picture, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. I think this is appalling. I think this is not the kind of behavior we need to see exhibited by adults, particularly in an arena where young people congregate. Not just congregate, but this is supposed to be a celebration. This is supposed to be a day of happiness, a day that sets the future for so many young people. And to see this type of behavior, I think that we need to send a strong message that we are not going to condone this kind of behavior. And while we're doing that, we need to send a strong message to all those parents who feel that they could go on school campuses, they could fight students or fight teachers. We ain't having that. I believe that we need to make an example of some people so we can send the message that this is not the kind of Bahamas that we're trying to build.
When you say send an example, reportedly both women have been taken into custody. What do you think needs to happen here? If you had your way.
We need to take them before the courts. We need to be able to use whatever arm we have within the law to send a message, not just to these two ladies, but to every adult that believes that they could go in environments what is supposed to be conducive for motivation, inspiration, and growth of our young people, that we are tolerating that. We're not. Those days over. We live in a time where everybody complaining about crime high. One of the best institutions that we have, the best opportunities we have to be able to turn this country around is through our educational system. Mm-hmm. We cannot allow that to be messed up by these kind of behaviors.
I mean, that was trampled upon. That very idea that you mentioned a moment ago was trampled upon today outside that C.R. Walker graduation. How do you think those kids, I mean, they were all fighting because they just were influenced, obviously. Who knows how they ended up fighting several various groupings. But how do you think this traumatizes them in the sense that this is the best day of your school career to date? You are graduating high school and looking forward for your future. And there you have it. Of all the stuff you accomplished and did in these 12 years, this is how you're going to be remembered. That a big fight, in fact, several fights broke out outside your graduation ceremony. And tonight, this is what the news is talking about.
I don't know the power that the school have as far as rescinding some of those diplomas that was passed out. But I believe that we got to, as a nation, we got to send strong messages that this is not the kind of Bahamas that we want to be able to grow. We are on the verge of economic empowerment. We have to be able to get our citizens to understand that you are part of building this new Bahamas that's going to empower everybody. And in order for that to happen, we got to be able to know how to behave, particularly in environments that is conducive for growth of young people. And every person that was involved in that, we need to be able to hold accountable for their actions. When we look at social media today, most of the fights that you've seen on Facebook, they're no longer just men, they're women. I'm talking about women that have children, and I don't know who's listening to me. But mothers, we got to start acting like mothers, man. How can we hold our children accountable when we acting like cats and dogs out in public? You go down by the fish fry, women all over the place, pulling off people, we are fighting. Mothers, you could see that they're mothers in the communities, they fighting. We can't do that and then start talking, but we want to talk to our young people, but living right.
It is quite unfortunate what you described. And the thing is, what's so funny is none of it is a lie. I mean, it's not even a stretch of the imagination what you just described. What is happening with the state of the family, particularly the state of the family where majority women are leading these households? And then when you see this play out, is it any surprise what we see play out on the streets?
No, there's no surprise because we found ways how we pull the man out of the structure. God created the man to be the foundation, and everything the devil is doing right now is to pull the man out of the home, out of the communities, out of the schools. When we look at some of our schools, man, we have a need for male teachers. Our homes, like you said, are being read by single mothers. We have to find ways how we get the male structure to function the way God designed it to function so that the homes and the family structure could survive.
I absolutely agree with you. And we know more than ever, I think according to the Eyewitness News count, it's around 37, 38 homicides for the year. That could be off by 1 or 2 or it could be spot on. It's quite troubling because we see what's going on. We see also attempted and complete suicides up by men. What does this say, Carlos, about the state of the Bahamian family, about the hope for people when they cannot even be influenced by the adults in the room?
You know, a lot of men are hurting. A lot of men are wounded. When I was growing up, they told us that big boys are not supposed to cry. So we grew up hiding our feelings, putting on masks because we didn't want to be able to show or expose our weakness. And I believe that this is where we are in this country. We have to find ways how we validate broken men in this country, because broken men cannot lead the way that they were intended to lead. So I want to encourage even mothers, baby mamas out there, stop talking and down to the brothers and start talking up to them. Yeah, I believe that some of them need to get outside their head, but they have to play a role, and we can't take them out of the equation that God designed. You were not designed to rear children of yourself. God designed for a man and a woman to raise these children. Now, despite that the relationship didn't work out, despite the fact that you don't like the brother, the fact is that you are born children in this world, and you all have to be mature enough to work together to give these kids an opportunity to have a successful life. So put your differences aside for the children, man. Put your differences aside for the children. Let's get along for the children's sake, because we have a nation to save. You have a family to raise. And I believe that if you raise your family, you'll have this nation to be the best little nation in the world that we know it is.
It's really important that adults who are guardians and certainly parents begin to give a better example for ourselves and also for the youngsters, whether they be teenagers or even kids among us. Because after all, who are they to take their cues from? Who? You know, you are doing a lot of work, Carlos, and you've been in this field for decades, but you're doing something new to try and somehow restore the Bahamian family. Can you give us a peek or even just maybe provide a glimpse into what your studies so far are proving of exactly where the family is?
You know, one of the things that we came up in our study is the fact that our school system needs an overhaul. And I was so glad to hear the Minister of Education, the Honorable Glennis Martin, say that we are looking at the school system to see how we can prepare kids for after school. We can't continue to go down the road that we were going down with these kids, just dealing with like academics. We have to now equip these kids to be able to resolve their conflicts, to manage their anger, and prepare them for a world that's outside of that school. We can't just depend upon like the family structure no more, because we know that our homes are broken. Let's accept that fact. But then the village has to come in. And then I believe that the best opportunity that we have, based upon our studies, is to fix the school. So we got to bring law and order back to the school. When I was in school, we had like what was considered to be a schoolboy haircut. That's out the window. The way you see some of these kids are dressing to go to school, no, we got to bring back law. We got to bring back rules. Now, someone might ask, but what a haircut got to do with law? What it got to do with rules? It has everything, because if we could teach these kids how to follow the rules in school, chances are when they reach outside of school, they'll know how to follow the laws of the land. So there are a number of things that we have been doing. We've been doing a lot of work in the communities, bringing some resolve to some of the conflicts that a lot of these quote-unquote gangs have, but there's still much more work to do. And Bahamas, we can't depend upon government. We can't depend upon the police. We all have a part to play in this country. Do your part, even if it's just reaching your children. Let's turn this country around. I believe that we've seen some changes where the numbers are not as high as they were this time last year, but that's not enough, man.
The numbers in terms of what?
That's ridiculous.
It is quite, and it's still worrisome right now. But the numbers in terms of what?
Murders. We're down as far as it was last year. The amount of murders that we have experienced with this year compared to last year at the same time. But one murder is too much.
It is.
Because one murder leaves a mother hurting, leaves children like fatherless, motherless. We have to work together. One of the challenges that we get, particularly as Black people, and I say it the way I want to say it, as Black people, we don't know how to come together and work together. But that's about our country. I don't know what some of y'all, but I don't know what country to go to. We got to work to fix this one. And we can't continue to point fingers, because if you're not a part of the solution, problem.
Carlos Reed, I thank you very much. I would love to obviously go further in this discussion. It's necessary. Certainly, of course, I hope a part of your study and whatever it is you're creating with that has to do with getting some of these adults in a classroom. I think that's quite necessary, because what took place today was embarrassing, and it was troubling, and it certainly, the kids who graduated today, particularly those who paid attention and high academic achievers, should be quite vexed.
Most definitely. Somebody just told me the other day that we need shock treatment for adults.
That's real good. Come and talk about it when you're ready to launch it. That's really good. But thank you so much, Carlos Reed, crime consultant, giving insight, and a lot of good insight, quite frankly, into just the state of where this nation finds itself. Once again, you all saw the videos by now, I'm sure. The high school graduation of C.R. Walker just interrupted and turned into an all-out fight. Several fights reportedly began with two women who started arguing, and then it turned physical. Just quite troubling. This is Beyond the Headlines. We're going to take a break and come back with more after this.
Cancer Treatment Centers of America is now City of Hope, creating one of the leading cancer care and research networks from coast to coast, providing more of what you need. More locations means more care closer to home. More specialists means more expertise. More research means more breakthroughs. More advancements means more treatment options. And more options means more hope. Call now to get more of the care you need.
Join us for the Pulled Pork Festival at Arawak Key, June 21st, 3 p.m. through 11 p.m. Enjoy a delicious day featuring a variety of Hispanic cuisine and Bahamian dishes, all inspired by a farm-to-table theme. Savor the flavors and explore a vibrant culinary showcase. Whether you're a food lover, a family looking for a great day out, or a fan of live music and competitions, this festival has something for everyone. Tickets can be purchased online, cashandgobahamas.com/event-tickets.
Measles is on the rise around the world, and the Bahamas is at risk,
which makes us very vulnerable as a nation for the possible outbreak of measles cases.
Every Saturday in May from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m., the Ministry of Health and Wellness will host MMR immunization visits in South Beach, Coconut Grove, Fox Hill, and Elizabeth Estates. Clinics in these areas will remain open until 8 p.m. twice per week. Get your child immunized now.
7.5 years, but I walk in here all of a sudden, total stranger. I'm calling you Rick and Sheila.
Hi, Ben. At Island Lock, we take sports seriously. Get ready to experience the thrill of winning anytime and any place. Bet in real time and live the thrill of every play while watching your winnings stack up. It's your chance to score big with fast payouts and a world-class experience. Get in the game and bet the Bahamian way with Island Lock Sportsbook.
If you enjoy watching Beyond the Headlines, take advantage of our exclusive offers with 4 15-minute interview segments at $1,200 and 20 30-second TV ads at $2,000. Contact 557-0258 or 557-0259 for more information. Go beyond with Beyond the Headlines.
This segment of Beyond the Headlines is brought to you by EV Motors. Drive the future with brand new 2024 electric vehicles. EV Motors, powering your journey.
Welcome back to Beyond the Headlines. Well, a verbal showdown in Parliament today. Prime Minister Philip Davis and Opposition Leader Michael Pintard clashed over each other's political performance, of all things, posing the question, who is best suited to lead the country following the upcoming general election? While you think about that answer, let's hear more from Linton Ritchie Jr., and then we'll come back and talk about it.
Member of Parliament for Cat Island, Rumkey, and San Salvador could not put potable water or lay pipes in Cat Island.
Opposition Free National Movement leader Michael Pintard igniting a flame in the lower chamber Wednesday evening as he fired at Prime Minister Philip Davis, criticizing the nation's chief for what he deems a lackadaisical approach in his constituency of Cat Island, Rumkey, and San Salvador. Pintard asking, could the country afford another term under Davis's leadership? However, the nation's chief did not back down. He immediately sought to set the record straight.
When Brave Davis lay pipe, he spent his own money. You don't use the corporation money.
His response, however, resulting in a tit-for-tat between the two, with Pintard putting Davis's commitments to the electorate under a microscope. Pintard emphasizing that from his view, some of those elected under the Davis administration have done more as a newcomer to politics than their leader. Davis, however, debunking the claims made against him, outlining his resume and hinted at his victory over Pintard's former challenge.
I was re-elected. People in Cat Island are wise people. Yes, that's why they rejected you.
And under a Pintard-led government, he says the promise is to bring hope to the islands he believes were neglected by its representative.
He's failed to create an economy that they can imagine a future there.
Linton Ritchie Jr., Eyewitness News.
Well, there you have it. So what are your thoughts? Who has bragging rights out of the two? The leader of the Progressive Liberal Party, Prime Minister Philip Davis, or the leader of the official opposition, Free National Movement, Michael Pintard? Well, I'm not going to give my opinion. I am going to get the opinions of my next guests. Welcome to Beyond the Headlines. We have Kyle Dean from the Progressive Liberal Party and Heather McDonald from the Free National Movement. Good evening to both of you.
Good evening.
You all, I'm sure, are paying close attention to the budget debate, and we are not here to discuss the budget, but you really couldn't walk by that one right there. Your thoughts, Heather, I think I'll start with you. Your thoughts about exactly how both gentlemen came and they kind of sort of put up and say, listen, hold up. I am a better MP than you. I am a better MP than you. And here's what I did. Your thoughts?
Well, I'll answer this the most human way first, and then I could get down to the islands. Now, in a situation like that, everybody is going to feel like they are the better one, Shanique. All right? So we can't deny that. However, me being someone whose family's from Cat Island, my name is McDonald. My aunts, my uncles, my cousins, they live in Cat Island. Cat Island looks exactly the same from before I was born, okay? Cat Island looks exactly the same from when my father grew up in Cat Island. There's no real development. What breaks my heart is when you come to Cat Island and you see the persons who are waiting to catch a flight has to wait outside. Where you want to go and get your ticket, you have to go to something that looks like it looks like a little shed. And here's the thing, when I talk to my family members in Cat Island or some friends that I have there, they were so excited when the Prime Minister is now their representative. You know, I think maybe this is what they were thinking. We continue to support you, Brave, for all of these years because we were just hoping one day you would become Prime Minister and finally you would do right by us. But if the Bahamian people just continue to look what has happened in Cat Island
so you were
since
saying
he's been
even
Prime
now
Minister.
In June of 2025, Heather McDonald, that Cat Island is lacking?
It's lacking. The only thing I see is that beautiful mural or artistic piece that they have placed in Cat Island. I think it's beautiful as well. And I would love to see that actually on every island. But I can tell you one thing, I can't even get shelter for that from the shade. Okay? When I need to catch my flight, I would like to be in an air-conditioned room. It's not hard. I'm from Grand Bahama. When the storm came in, I believe it was Jean and Francis, and the airport was closed. Within months, we had a hangar airport created so that persons could be able to come and sit down and catch their flight. You ever hear about a hurricane going to Cat Island in the last 30, 20 years? They couldn't create a hangar-like airport for the persons to be able to travel in and out of the country. Look at the roads in Cat Island. If you want to call them roads, how are the schools doing in Cat Island? What are the new developments or anchor projects that has happened in Cat Island for the last 30 years? And the answer is nothing.
You're right. The anchor project bit, this is just me speaking as somebody who loves the Bahamas to be as authentic as possible, but we know that each island needs its own little sort of revenue generating opportunity. Kyle, I want you to step in. Heather says, since before she even came into the world, and then as a kid visiting Cat Island, and even now to this minute, Cat Island looks the same, is the same, give off the same energy. Now, I do remember that there have been a number of announcements. I don't know if projects are ongoing. I don't know if stuff is happening. But Heather say, what's up?
Right. Let me say this. I watched the video. As a matter of fact, I tuned into Parliament today as there was this back and forth, and the back and forth considered more than that. But Cat Island there's a new airport under construction. There are upgrades happening. Roads are being paved. Hold on, don't interrupt me. Hello. Not only that, I don't see how Heather could come here and defend this or defend the leader of the opposition. Because,
but before we get to him, because she started with the Prime Minister, so let's stick with him for a minute.
Let's get to the reality. He challenged the Prime Minister in the constituency of Cat Island, Rumkey, and San Salvador.
Yes, he did.
If you're going to come to Parliament and pontificate, as his book always says that you should do, why is it that when you challenge the Prime Minister, you got a cut up of your life?
I would just like to say, Kyle,
you got the brake speed off of you.
I just love to
and
hear
so
you.
if you
respond to that.
I'm trying to respond.
No, because let the host step in for a second. Kyle makes a point because here it is. If Brave Davis's representation was so lackluster, wasn't he elected again and then again? And I'm not even sure how many times now. So Heather, go ahead, your response.
I honestly believe that Cat Island was hoping for him to be Prime Minister one day, especially this the last run. They were saying he's up as a leader. Honestly, if I was living in Cat Island, like if I'm in Marco City right now, I'm definitely voting for Michael Pintard because I would be able to have the Prime Minister as my leader. But Kyle failed to tell us anything that Brave Davis has done in Cat Island for the last 30 years. No, Kyle, you wait. You wait a second because I'm going to answer you. I can tell you what Michael Pintard has done in Marco City.
What has he done?
Michael Pintard don't just break ground and cut ribbon and have big ceremony and absolutely nothing happens like Brave Davis had done. They're always breaking down. He should get the most trying student award because we're in graduation season because he likes to break ground. They like to make plans, and I think making plans is super great. But what I like to see is the finished product. You're 4 years in. You're 4 years in now, and there's no finished product. You were the Prime Minister, and your airport just broke ground, and come on, open the airport.
Did you listen to your leader day in the House?
But I can tell you, Pintard has
get
created...
this camera sorted out, please. The third camera, please get it sorted out.
Pintard has created a community center that is already completed. The only thing that they're putting in Marco City is the infrastructure. That was one of the promises that he made. He said, I'm going to create...
When he made it?
He made it. It's finished building. It's right in Marco City, but they haven't had the ground.
So both MPs then are
the building is erected and it's finished.
Have projects under construction. Let's shift. You have already shifted Heather to Michael Pintard. Okay, so let's talk about him as an MP. He now is wearing even a new cap, a bigger cap as leader of the opposition. So you weigh in.
Shanique, I'm not sure how frequently Ms. McDonald visits Freeport, but I can tell you on the ground in Freeport, the leader of the opposition is losing support. And this is based
because of his representation?
Because of his representation. Also, there's a narrative or there's a belief by the people of Freeport, Marco City and all over, that he wants Grand Bahama to suffer for political gain.
Kyle, don't do that.
No,
you're being very disingenuous.
Shanique, I am only telling you the experiences or the words of people who are from Freeport.
Kyle, this what people in Freeport. This what people.
God is my witness.
Kyle, why would
Shani.
Michael Pintard, leader of the opposition, member of parliament in one of the Freeport constituencies, want Freeport to fail? How would that benefit him?
Okay, so here's what I'm saying. He needs something to talk about. You cannot campaign on the successes of the government because you are the leader of the opposition. And so the thoughts and the narrative in Freeport is that he wants Freeport to suffer for votes. So if the government fails at the Lukaya deal, if the government fails at the developments happening in Freeport, then that translates votes to Michael Pintard.
But let's see. No, that's wishful thinking. Let's not talk about what people are saying. Let's just talk about what you have perceived his performance to be and what you are hearing people say about his performance.
Okay, so I don't see much. I don't see much happening in Marco City. I don't know of no major initiative or infrastructural development in the last 4 years in Marco City, like Ms. McDonald said.
That's because you're not from Grand Bahama. I'm from Grand Bahama.
Further, I believe, and I strongly stand on this point, that the leader of the opposition, he's a failed opposition leader. He has yet to unite its party. The COI has gained more traction over, Lincoln Bain has gained more traction over than the leader of the opposition.
What makes you say that?
I'm getting to that point right there.
Okay, go ahead.
Every single poll that I've seen placed in the public domain, Lincoln Bain has beat the leader of the opposition, Michael Pintard, in every single poll that I've seen. Every single public poll. And the Bahamian people have now realized that the leader of the opposition is only full of politics.
Thank you for that.
Well, I'll tell you that, Heather, how did that book become a focal point?
Before we get to the book,
hold on, wait.
I'm so happy that you're a fan, Kyle. It's so wonderful. Thank you. I can get that autograph for you if you could just.
No. I've read this book 3 times. I
hope you learned something.
And this book is the most dangerous. This book is from hell.
Kyle says...
I'm going to respond to some of the things that Kyle
No, that's why I want to reinforce it so you can. Mm-hmm. Kyle says, as a leader of the opposition, Pintard has proven a failure and been divisive. How do you respond?
Well, first of all, the truth is not in Kyle, and I told him this. I'm going to continue to pray for him, because every time Kyle speaks about Michael Pintard, who he's a big fan of, he has the book, he has known markers in it, he doesn't speak the truth. I am from Grand Bahama. I was born and raised in Grand Bahama. My father lives there. My brother lives there. My nieces and nephews. My friends live in Grand Bahama. I visit Grand Bahama. Kyle knows absolutely. He can't name one corner in Marco City. He knows nothing. And he's saying people from Grand Bahama. What people, Kyle? You don't know nobody from Grand Bahama. And if you do...
been in Grand Bahama?
Kyle, I'm from there. I am from Grand Bahama.
When last you been there, Heather?
Last time I've been to Grand Bahama was probably in November because I've been busy.
I've been busy. Many times.
But nevertheless, I'm going to talk about the things that Michael Pintard has done. Mm-hmm. Okay,
let's go as leader.
One thing I love about Michael Pintard as a leader, he never has allowed his leadership in the opposition to neglect his duties as a constituency member of parliament. He has every week he meets with his residents. Every Thursday. And he just doesn't say, come to my office. He moves from polling division to hear the concerns of the people in Marco City.
So he's present in Marco City.
He's present in Marco City.
And accounted for.
Honestly, I have to pray for my leader daily because I see him traveling in and out, trying to be there for his people. Now, Kyle, hold on before you start talking nonsense again. Now, here's the thing. He has food programs that has never stopped. He had that during Doreen. And we have camera footage of this man saving people, helping people in Doreen, in the waters up to his neck, trying to assist people. And he never stops that.
I'll tell you, that was a frightening time,
yes,
Heather,
he visits his people
and I want to commend so many people in Grand Bahama who stepped up and were heroes and are heroes. That's really awesome. Let's move this forward. Let's talk about, Kyle, you already responded to the Michael Pintard question, so let's move forward now. Let's look at and you both kind of touched on public opinion, what that sentiment is. Do you feel satisfied that you've both spoken about what the public opinion is on each?
No, because I wasn't finished.
Or let's go on each organization then. What is the public... Heather, this show...
Because
there's another segment after this.
I know there's another segment. Yes. But Kyle just says so much... I don't want to say... He's just not honest within himself, because he knows Michael Pintard is doing such a good job. His favorite author is doing such a good job, but he has to be so loyal to the PLP that he has to say these untruths
Heather,
about
let's go.
Pintard.
Let's talk about the good. Name 2 things he is doing that's fantastic as leader right now.
He can lead in the FNM.
Yes,
One
ma'am.
thing I admire about Michael Pintard is the constant press conferences that we have. I've never seen an opposition had the media having this much access to the FNM whilst we're in opposition. He's not afraid to answer the tough questions. He's not afraid to keep you informed on what's going on. He researches well. Now, though a lot of persons who are outside of the FNM like to create the narrative that we're not united.
Are you united since you brought that up? Because I was going to leave every dissension alone tonight as just a sort of a kumbaya.
In any movement, there's never going to be perfection. But what we are is we're moving forward.
Okay, are you pleased? And you are moving forward, and you all have said, "Listen, hi, who are you on the bus now?"
I'm excited.
You don't
I'm
belong
more
on
than
the
pleased.
bus. Are you pleased with the fact that it seems to be a doing away with experience in the person of you know exactly who, and versus saying, "Listen, be on this new path. This is our trajectory." Should not sort of you bring everybody on board to be a stronger unit?
Well, no one can come along with you when you're moving into a new season. This is how it happens. Sometimes, for every time, there's a season under heaven. Okay? When certain things happen, you have to move forward. Certain decisions are made. But this train is bound for victory, and we're not going to allow anything to stop us.
Kyle,
we're going to go with who we need to go with, and we're going to put in the work.
Heather, believe me, I will have you and Kyle back. I love it. I will have you all back. But I need to let Kyle now speak. Kyle, wait. And I know that, and I identified you both, so I hide nothing from the public. You are PLP, you are FNM. Now, do you think that this FNM is on this road to victory, as Heather just said?
Well, let me say this, Shanique. The FNM has much to be desired. And she talked about the press conferences and stuff like that. It's all in the playbook. I could read a line. Behemoths are chronic complainers, especially when they hold someone else responsible as member of the opposition, be the cheerleader. And so he understands what he's operating from. He's not operating from a place of genuine concern for the Bahamian people. He's operating from a place where he desires power, and every move the leader of the opposition makes is in this book. The words he used in Parliament are in this book. And so I believe, Shanique, Bahamians are exposed to this book now that has been kept a secret. Bahamians are reading it. Bahamians are learning its content. And I could read some stuff, and I could challenge you whether you believe it or not. And you don't go down that road.
To be continued. How about that?
To be continued, but they're not ready.
That went so fast. It went so fast because we didn't talk about the government's performance. I didn't listen. I want to get more into obviously, just public opinion and perception. Truly, like what people are saying. Who has the momentum right now, and it's been holding the momentum. All the stuff I want to discuss with you both. So looking forward to it. But thank you so much, Heather McDonald. Thank you also to Kyle Dean. Awesome, just wonderful hearing your thoughts, guys, especially as insiders. And so we're going to have them on again, right? But don't go anywhere, because when we come back, now you want to get your pen and paper for this one, because if you want to travel and see the world, but say, whoa, this budget is just not what it needs to be, you could be a lucky winner of Scotia Bank's Tickets to Tokyo campaign. We're back after this.
The internet isn't just for surfing. There's a sea of shoppers buying online, and you can connect with them on Tingsy. Tingsy is the SBDC's online storefront built for Bahamians. Take your business to the next level by selling to customers online, both at home and around the world. People want Bahamian things, and if you got things to sell, sell on Tingsy. Find out how you can connect with a sea of buyers by visiting tingsybahamas.com.
I am a master plumber by profession. I've been doing plumbing for over 40 odd years. When I was 9 months old, I was diagnosed with polio. To me, living with polio, I took it the way it is. I never allowed my polio to get in my way of anything. In fact, I love when people doubt me, and I just prove them wrong. And let me tell you, in the world, you could only find a plumber as good as me, but you ain't gonna find no plumber better than me. People with disability, they just need a chance. In this program, I feel so encouraged. Most of the mentors have different kind of disability, but disabilities like me. Sharing and caring and showing so much support with people with disability. They would encourage you to go beyond. I wish this was around a long time ago. Right now, I would have been a millionaire. You out there who have a disability, don't be afraid. Take the step. If you believe it, you could achieve it. And remember one thing, ain't no one better than me.
Edenwell has expanded their testing menu. We now offer blood work, drug screening, and so much more. Our hours of operation are Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 5 p.m., and Saturday, 8 a.m. to 1 p.m., located on 11 Madera Street. We are here for all of your laboratory needs, with fast and reliable lab work done by our friendly and knowledgeable staff. Let us help you take the needed steps to stay in the know about your health. Let's keep working towards a healthier you. Stay Eden well.
Tired of driving around from place to place just to get your car insured and licensed? Frustrated with the process of being back and forth from your insurance company to road traffic? Well, BMG Insurance Agents and Brokers just made insuring and licensing your motor vehicle as easy as 1, 2, 3. Step 1. Visit us at the Road Traffic Department, Section 1, Thomas A. Robinson Sports Stadium. At our office, you can purchase or renew your insurance or get your vehicle inspected. We at BMG Insurance Agents and Brokers represent major carriers. Step 2. See the professionals at Road Traffic to get your vehicle licensed. Step 3. Enjoy your day. Insure with BMG Insurance Agents and Brokers today, saving you time and money. Your one-stop shop for all of your insurance needs. Great rates, convenient, excellent service. For more information, call us at 322-2221.
So you want a space. But not just any space. You need something with a little more potential. So how about 1,000 square feet of room to play with? Superb audio and video production capability, digital LED wall, full lighting grid, and about 124 seats to accommodate a full studio audience with so many other features. Make us your home for your next concert, conference, and so much more. Honestly, the possibilities are endless. Here at ILTV Studios, we'd love to bring your next event to life. So what do you say? Do you want our space?
If you enjoy watching Beyond the Headlines, take advantage of our exclusive offers with 4 15-minute interview segments at $1,200 and 20 30-second TV ads at $2,000. Contact 557-0258 or 557-0259 for more information. Go beyond with Beyond the Headlines.
Welcome back to Beyond the Headlines. Hope you are enjoying tonight's show. We're going to shift gears now and get into some nice summer fun. Listen, if you bank at Scotia Bank, you're already aware of the institution, but did you know that they are hoping to make some lucky person smile really widely for summer? We'll find out when, what's going on, but Scotia Bank is launching and getting into this campaign, Tickets to Tokyo. And it sounds awesome. Of course, you know, Tokyo is in Japan, and they are, I would even go further. In fact, let's just talk about this. Mr. Russell, welcome to Beyond the Headlines. Of course, your first name escapes me, but let's do this. The other two in the last segment, they just sort of took my attention. Yeah. You know, and they had all of us in here saying, you know, but they were very good. I certainly enjoyed the two of them. But Travis Russell from Scotia Bank, of course, you are the sales and services lead in the managing director's office, and you come bearing good news.
Oh, yes, yes. So
welcome to the show.
Thank you, and thank you so much for having me. It has been awesome so far.
Yes,
but we're very excited at Scotia Bank, so we're launching the Ticket to Tokyo campaign. Tickets to Tokyo.
I was about to say, it can't be just one ticket.
No. Tickets to Tokyo campaign. And the campaign it's essentially what it says. So if you are a Scotiabank credit card holder, you have two options on how you can be entered to win this competition. So once you make a transaction, a purchase of $350 or more, that's one ballot into the competition. And then another way to add, let's say you're a new Scotiabank client who just got a credit card. Once you activate that card, that is an automatic entry into the competition as well.
Wow, so you all tricky. You all want people to go shop. Make sure you shop minimum of $300, you know, swipe that. And then if you have a new card, quickly activate it.
Yes.
Because you are automatically entered, as well as the people who are shopping at a minimum of $300.
At a minimum of $350, yes. And here's the thing, we always encourage our clients. So we say the most educated clients are the best clients. And what we see is when clients who use their credit cards for their daily purchases, they know what they're doing essentially, because that's the best way to fight off fraud. Fraud is very prevalent right now in the Bahamas.
It is, isn't it?
It's very
it's
prevalent.
shocking because before we saw those funny numbers calling and that was where the fraud was attached. But is it local where it's coming from, or is it people using local numbers?
I believe it's persons using local numbers and working with persons outside of the country.
Wow.
But with fraud being very prevalent, it's even more important now to use your credit card instead of using your debit card. I always tell clients, when you go in a store and swipe your debit card, you're essentially opening up your pocket to saying, here, take out how much money you need.
Mind you, I was told that it's best now for racking up points and for all the different benefits that come with it, that have your credit card, pull that out, and then just sort of make your payments as you would like a regular bill.
Exactly. And listen, you want no one going into your pockets and telling them, I'll take out how much ever you need. And that's the next point, the rewards. When you use that credit card, you're getting a reward for every purchase. So if you're someone who habitually goes to the gas station, which is all of us, goes to the grocery store, instead of spending that cash, why not put it on your credit card and get a little something back? So our suite of credit cards, we have the MasterCard Gold. That's a cashback credit card. It's cashback on grocery stores, pharmacies, gas stations, even restaurants. We have our Aero Platinum card, which is points. And then we also have our AA Advantage card, which is miles. Every purchase, you get a percentage of that back.
Miles in terms of like airline tickets?
Yes, so for American Airlines, you get miles back for every purchase. And it's not one for one. Some points are one for one, but depending on where you purchase, you get the multiplier.
Really
so
awesome.
Essentially, you're getting double the money you spend. It's awesome.
No, it really is,
awesome.
and it's smarter nowadays to kind of just adopt those habits you described. Now, let's talk about this campaign.
Yes.
How many tickets can somebody win, an individual?
Okay, so the biggest thing, you must be a client of Scotia Bank first, and you must be an active user of our credit cards. So if you are that lucky person, you will be given $1,000 spending for when you go to Tokyo. We will pay for your hotel accommodations, we will cover your transportation, we will cover your airfare, and that is for 5 days, 4 nights for yourself and whoever that lucky companion is.
You are kidding. So the individual that wins, they automatically win 2 tickets.
Yes.
This is super. And you're paying for accommodations, obviously airfare.
And transportation while you're in
transportation
Tokyo.
on the ground, $1,000. You think $1,000?
Listen, the $1,000 just to put a little something in your
Just
pocket.
Just
put a little something in your pocket just to get you going.
Now, so listen, Travis, when does this campaign start? And what is the window?
So the campaign started on May 17th and it ends July 17th.
July 17th.
Yes, July 17th. So there's just a few more days to get in there. But here's the thing. If you don't have a Scotiabank credit card currently, you're still able to go and get one, because our cards, you can have your card back within 5 to 7 business days. So just visit any Scotiabank
So
branch.
the thing is now, even if you're not in possession of one, or you are a little skittish, like, I don't know, your best bet, you heard the various sort of bonuses and whatnot attached to the credit cards. And so Scotia is saying, go apply for your card tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Listen, we have branches that are ready to serve you. Numerous branches, 7 in Nassau, that are ready to serve you. Run and get your credit card, or run to the grocery store and spend at least $350 to get that entry into the competition.
Yeah, and you're spending it anyway. So the thing is, why not just put it on the card? As you say, it's just a safer form of payments nowadays.
Listen, I couldn't say any better myself.
Yeah, and so let's just talk about Scotiabank overall and the benefits of banking at Scotiabank or with Scotiabank.
Yeah, so one of the biggest benefits of Scotiabank, banking with Scotiabank for me, is our international awareness. So we're recognized all around the world. And then the next thing is our security. So we don't play when it comes to your money. We know you don't play when it comes to your money, so we don't play when it comes to keeping your money safe. And in some cases, we've seen where it kind of bit us the wrong way sometimes. When persons would travel, they would swipe their card and sometimes it would not go through.
Yes.
But honestly, that's really us doing our very best to protect you. And what we've done, we've added some mitigating factors in play where you no longer have to come into the bank to make those to tell us that you're traveling, but we actually have it built in automatically. So once you travel, now let's say, if you go to China, randomly, we'll give you a call. We'll call you on your phone and say, hey, we see that a transaction happened there in China. Is this you? So we're doing our very best to ensure that our clients are protected and ensure that you can bank safely, but still bank the way you want to.
But it's in someone's best interest to sort of come to the bank first to say, listen, I will be traveling. Can you unlock for this destination type thing?
No. So we've discontinued that in our branches. So we've opened up our cards enough, and what we do, and this is a bit of background here. So all of our cards built in, we track all of the data on our cards. So we understand how Shanique shops. We understand what Shanique likes to do. Now, if we see randomly you're in Greece, that's gonna flag our system.
Yeah, and you reach out to me as okay.
And we reach out immediately.
Yeah, that's really super. So once again, Travis, of course, this is Travis Russell from Scotia Bank, and he's in the top office. You know what he's saying. So Travis, once again, tell us about this Tickets to Tokyo campaign. It started since May, by the way. Can a person be entered more than one? Like if you shop 1 million times, spending minimum $350, are you entered that many times?
100%. There is no max on how many times you can enter this competition. Once again, the Tickets to Tokyo competition, it's 5 days, 4 nights, all expenses paid, and with $1,000 shopping money for yourself and then also a companion.
Can't beat that.
You can't.
This summer, like somebody at the end of July, August can be in Tokyo.
Yes, who doesn't want to go to Tokyo? I want to go. I wish I could be in the campaign.
I want to as well. I think it sounds good. Tokyo sounds real. I went to China, by the way. I went to Hong Kong and then China as well.
That's good.
Yeah, really
that's
awesome.
Really nice.
Yeah,
that's
so
really nice.
why not Tokyo?
Yes.
Why not? Listen, thank you so much for this. Once again, you know what the rules of engagement are. Simply go charge. You need a card, go and apply for one, and not the debit, because it's not even safe, because that's basically your own money you're putting out there like that.
100%.
So Scotia is saying, use your credit card. If you don't have one, go and apply for one today. It'll take about roughly 5 business days or so, and you have that, and you're still eligible to enter. Matter of fact, the minute you're approved,
yes. So once you activate that card, yes, that's $1. Once you activate before the 17th of July.
Really awesome, really awesome. I'm excited to know exactly. Like, you all need to I don't know if you want to let people know, because I was going to say, come back, present the winners or the winner, because that sounds so awesome. Like, really, Tokyo.
That's actually an awesome idea. But of course, if the client wants to.
True, because then, anybody, girl, you going to Tokyo, take me. Nobody into all that.
Listen, and it's always exciting reaching out to the clients, letting them know they want. The first thing is, this is a scam. So they're hanging up the phone on me, and typically I make those calls. They're hanging up the phone. By the time I call, hold on, you sound like a Bahamian. This may be real. And then they get to the point where it's like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe I won.
OMG.
And it's honestly amazing. It's amazing.
Really, really awesome.
So I hope to be calling one of you watching the show when the campaign ends.
Get to shopping, y'all. Get to shopping with your Scotia Bank credit card. You've heard the various MasterCards that Scotia has. You know it very well. Get to shopping, and who knows, you could be on your way to Tokyo this summer. I imagine the ticket is like a year. Within a year you can use it, or the summer.
So the ticket is only valid for the space of the promotion. So we set a date, and then we asked if that works for you. We're able to extend it maybe a few days, but it wouldn't be outside.
So hey, you travel into Tokyo this year. How about that? That sounds really awesome. Listen, Travis Russell, thank you so much. Excellent campaign. A way to give back too.
Yes.
To say thank you. I mean, if other financial institutions can follow suit, that but no, excellent, really awesome. Scotiabank is doing an amazing thing there in saying thank you to its clients,
yes,
but certainly, of course, to that one lucky person who can take a friend along, or your husband or wife. Really, really great. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you so much, Shanika.
Yeah, I would love to have you come back, and seriously, you got to call me or something, be like, guess who won? But no, thank you so much for stopping by. Really awesome. I want to thank all of tonight's guests as well. At the top of tonight's show, Carlos Reed, speaking of that fight that happened outside a graduation hall today, right here in New Providence. Of course, in the middle of tonight's show, I tell you, part 2 is coming, okay? Especially as we get into this political season. We saw the PLP's Kyle Dean and the FNM's Heather McDonald discussing the issues. Were they biased? What y'all thought? Were they biased with their organizations? I don't know. We'll get to that. And of course, in this segment, Travis Russell from Scotiabank talking about the Tickets to Tokyo campaign. And then, of course, all of you for tuning in this evening. Certainly enjoyed having you along, and I look forward to seeing you right back here tomorrow evening. For the entire Beyond the Headlines team, I'm Shanique Miller. Make it a great evening, everyone.